Spring is here, so guess what? That means I can talk about my absolute favorite house and their top 5 for spring 2024. And that house is none other than Bond number 9. But y'all knew that because you watch my channel. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Summer Marie here. Yes, we're doing the top 5 fragrances from the house of Bond number 9 for spring 2024. Yes, because that is where we are right now. As you all know, this is one of my absolute favorite houses, and I have said time and time again that to me, spring is their best season out of Bond. It just is. They simply nail a good floral, a good fresh for me, and that's why I have collected them over the years. But alas, it's getting harder and harder to narrow this list down because each year the collection grows. But alas, we gotta talk about 5. But before we get into that, lipstick of the day today, everyone. I want to do something kind of purpley, kind of mauve, but more so purple to me. This is MAC Soar lipstick. Check that out right there. I've worn this a million times here on the channel, but definitely check that out. And as always, details on the face, makeup, all that will be in the description box below, so you don't have to look for it. Next up, we have fragrance of the day, and I was kind of in a purple mood essentially, so I decided to go to the Vault, and this right here is Bond number 9's Queens. That's why it has the big Q on the back. I haven't worn this one in a minute, but I decided to pull her back out, and y'all, this one is an honorable mention for this list because there's tuberose in here, there's osmanthus in here, some jasmine. It's like syrupy sweet, and I'm enjoying this one. I need to wear you more often, so I've officially pulled her to the front of the congregation. So if you see me talking about Queens is on my list to wear in May, now you know why I'm talking about it in this video, because I'm enjoying this. It's been a minute. But again, fragrance of the day is Bond number 9's Queen. And now without further ado, let's get into these top 5 fragrances. Okay, y'all, in the number 5 spot, this one goes to Bond number 9's Central Park West right here. I've had this one for an entire year, so I got it last spring, so spring 2023. So this is one I am enjoying, and as always, I'm gonna share through all the notes because it doesn't have a dedicated review up, so I'm gonna spend more time on it. So it has notes of narcissus, we have ylang ylang, we have black pepper, we have gardenia, we have jasmine, linden, orris, we have musk and white oak. For me, this is more so definitely a more yellow floral type of scent to me. That's what I get in, mainly because of the ylang ylang, in my opinion. The musk is there, but it still has a freshness to it, and I do smell that gardenia. That's what it is. So for that reason, in my opinion, this could be very much a spring summer type of scent, because again, ylang ylang is more of a tropical flower in my opinion, but the gardenia is what keeps it more so spring. So that's why I say this could technically be on the spring summer list. So on those warmer spring days, Central Park West would be the one to pull from. And let me tell you something too, this one leaves a very big scent bubble, scent trail around you. That's been my experience with it. This is one that people definitely smell. So if you don't want a powerful floral type of scent that really leaves a trail around you, or it might make you sneeze, especially if you're not into florals like that or you have a lot of allergies, you might want to stay away from this one. But personally, I enjoy it because it smells like a true spring floral scent in my opinion. Then that orris and that musk takes the powderiness to the next level in this scent. So I enjoy it. This one again has been around for a minute, so it's not talked about as much, but I still think it deserves to be pulled out for spring. And this again is Bond number 9's Central Park West in the number 5 spot. Now for the number 4 spots. This one is actually the newest Bond number 9 fragrance to my collection, and it's one of the newer releases too. This came out actually spring 2023, so spoiler alert, if you know, you know. This is Bond number 9's New York Flowers. If you all recall, this made my spring wish list for this year, and it is subsequently made the haul because I went ahead and got it. And I actually wore this fragrance. This was my Easter Sunday / Resurrection Sunday scent that I wore, so yay for that. Perfect, right on time with my nice spring dress on and everything. But let's talk about this one. So it has notes of Anjou pear, clementine, Kirk Royale, accord, rose de gracie, jasmine, and there's also amber and iris in here too. But can we just take a moment for the bottle? I mean, look at that. The bottle, if you didn't know this was a floral or spring scent, I mean, the bottle tells you what time it is. That is for sure. Now this one, I like it because, like I said, there's that pear in here. The pear in here, and then there's like a green rose, which to be fair is rose de gracie. So yeah, this is bright. This is very happy. This is definitely, like I say, a beginning of spring fragrance in my opinion, for sure. I enjoy this one. And this is one, like I said, even before I got the full size bottle, I had samples of it too. So I was able to really play in it and enjoy it so I could form my opinion even before I actually got the full size bottle. This is one I'm happy to have. It's so feminine to me. Again, heavy on that pear. The pear for sure. And then that rose Degrassi in here, in my opinion. Not so much on the other notes, maybe a little bit of the iris that gives it some powderiness, but mainly again the pear and the rose in here. Yes, so I'm enjoying this one. Again, she's the newest baby to the collection, so I'll be spending more time with her. But last, but for this list, she's in the number 4 spot. Now for the number 3 spot. Now this one, I have talked about this one many a time, but I still enjoy it. But in particular, I've worn this more so spring and summer, but I'm really getting my life on this one in the springtime this year. And this is Bond No. 9's Madison Square Park, or the pink and green bottle, as I like to say. This one is also an oldie but goodie, been around for a minute. This is one I used to see on vanities. A lot of ladies would get this and the matching body silk too. And now that I have the fragrance, I understand why. I actually got this one in January of 2023. So this one has been in my collection for some time now, and I'm enjoying her. But let's get into the notes. She has notes of grape hyacinth, huckleberry, prairie drop seagrass. We got red leaf, rose, red hunter, tulips, and teak wood. Absolutely, to me, this is a hyacinth scent, and this is a tulip scent. That is what this is to me. So very kind of like, so again, floral. Tulips, hyacinth for sure. The teak wood comes out in the base, and to me that doesn't come out until you actually wear it on your skin and later on, and that's what gives it something to like hugs the skin, in my opinion, that teak wood. But again, heavy on the florals. This one is definitely more on the earlier spring scent because there is a green factor in here. Peak early mid-April, which is what we're in right now when I'm filming this video. And that's why I'm enjoying this one. But for the sake of overall spring list, this one makes the number 3 spot for this year. And that again is Bond No. 9's Madison Square Park. Now for the hard part, we're getting into the top 2 positions. And these, loves. And they've been in my collection. And I think about it, they've been in my collection longer than any of the others. So that also could explain the love I have for these even more so far. But alas, in the number 2 spot, number 2 goes to Bond No. 9's Hudson Yards. Now this is an OG for real. This is one I have heard nothing but good things about. And a lot of people was like, you ought to get it. And in fact, this was a blind buy for me. This was a successful blind buy. But alas, y'all know the story. I've talked about it in previous videos. I was like, the elves, y'all did not steer me wrong, those that told me to pick this up, because this was a love for sure. So let's get into the notes. We have notes of wet petals of lily of the valley. We have sparkling freesia. We have pink pepper oil. We have peony buds. We have rose oil. We have lychee. We have orange flower. We have iris. And then we have musk, y'all. Let me tell you something. For me, and I've told y'all this a million times, this scent smells like the literal absolute first official day of spring to me. That is what this smells like. And it's just, I mean, even true to the nature with the green bottle, it just smells like everything is officially blooming outside. All of the trees have decided to bloom. The grass is now grown in. It's more so fresh. For me, it's the lily of the valley in this scent that I get more than anything. And there's also a little bit of tartness in here, and that comes from that lychee. But yes, this is more so bright, like fresh, first of the spring. The first buds have come through. That is Hudson Yards to me. So heavy on that March and April to me. Maybe May, but at that point, May is when we start to get into like the hot part of spring and we borderline heading into summer. So don't reach for it as much then. But for your cooler spring days, which we've actually been having a lot of those, Hudson Yards is the one for me. And again, I've had Hudson Yards now going on, I want to say 2 years? Yeah, going on 2 years I've had Hudson Yards. It's something about it, and then it just like blends into the skin and it just lays on my skin like no other, and it's just something about it. I've been noticing though that it's been out of stock a while on Bond No. 9's official website, so I hope they're not trying to discontinue her because she is such a beautiful green scent to me. She is, and I'm just enjoying Hudson Yards. So the number 2 spot again, that is Bond No. 9's Hudson Yards. And now for the number 1 spot. Yes, the number 1 spot. This one, she's an it girl. She's an it girl, and even though she's been out for a few years at this point, she is still very much so talked about, and that is for a reason. And I am also co-signing that because she number 1 to me as of spring for 2024. And this goes to Bond No. 9's Madison Avenue, the beautiful baby pink and black bottle. This is one I've already done this dedicated review. In fact, this is the only one that already has a dedicated review, so that also tells you something. She had to have one. I couldn't wait on her dedicated review. Do not let this bottle fool you. Yes, she's the most daintiest one out of all of these, but oh, she lasts and packs a punch. The longevity is giving in this for a spring scent. But let me get into the notes for you all that may be new to it. So it has a top note of apple, then there's bergamot, we have blackcurrant, we have rose essence, we got jasmine, magnolia, patchouli, ambroxan, and praline. It is the apple note for me. The apple note for sure, that black currant in here, and then I love that praline in the base. And then because of the ambroxan and the patchouli in here, that's what also helps this scent to last longer, because patchouli is just one of those notes that if it's in the fragrance, it ain't gonna be a weakling. It's just not, because patchouli is gonna make a scent last, and that is definitely the case in this scent. But it's nice. I mean, it's happy. It's a pretty girl scent. I mean, the bottle looks how it looks, but this is one, I've told this story before, got a sample of it, thought nothing of it, like, it's probably gonna be gone in a few hours, wore it to bed, woke up, it was just as loud and just as strong as when I sprayed it the night before. So I get excellent longevity out of this scent. I cannot say that enough about this scent. And it doesn't smell like any of my other fragrances in my collection. And this is one I've been reaching for. I am excited for. I've been missing her in my life, so I've been reaching for her again. So for that reason, bottle number 9's Madison Avenue is the #1 for spring 2024. I think this is a excellent scent. Is it about to get for life status? I think it's about to, so yes. So that wraps up my list of my top 5 for bottle number 9 for spring 2024. Again, this house does spring so well. There are many other fragrances that actually could have made this list. I did a list last year too, and some of the ones that made that list are not on this list, but they're still excellent fragrances. But alas, this is a house. If you've been looking for a signature spring scent, I highly suggest at least sampling it, going to a counter and just spraying and having some fun, alas, with bottle number 9. But I will catch y'all in the next video. And of course, leave your comments below. What are your faves from this house for spring, or just in general? I'd like to know what y'all are loving these days. Oh, by the way, I also saw that they are releasing a new scent. It's a gardenia scent. It's like a pink fuchsia bottle. If I find a picture of it, I'll put it here in the video. So yes, they're giving us a new scent for spring that of course I hope to get my nose on sooner rather than later. And of course, I will share my thoughts on it once I do smell it and let y'all know whether it's worth it full bottle or not. Again, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye y'all.